Hey, how are you? My name's KOOSHA. Just checking in to give you a quick little overview of I Love Teeth. I'd like to start with a question. Are you still taking impressions with PVS triple trays or stock trays or custom trays, or are you scanning? I think in most practices here in Australia, and it'd probably be the same anywhere else in the world right now, we are doing digital scans. And we're at the point now with clinical notes and a lot of other things we do where I could ask you the question, are you still typing your clinical notes out? And I'm pretty sure actually most people would say yes, they still are. But we're at a point now where you don't need to be doing that. And we've got some great tools to help with that. I Love Teeth, which you've probably heard me ranting about over the last few weeks since we sort of soft launched it online. Really, at the moment, that's the one thing it really tries to target, is to get you able to speak your notes very, very quickly and very reliably have structured professional notes ready to go. So I want to show you the typical sort of workflow on a busy day, the way I use this in a practice. In my experience, generally in practices, the practice management software is run on a desktop PC in the surgery, which is cool. But the problem with that is the microphones in those things are not really that great. But everyone's got a phone, like an iPhone or an Android phone, whatever you're using, and these generally have really good microphones in them now. We call them studio level condenser microphones, which is a fancy way of saying you're able to record your voice with a very, very high level of articulation. And what that means is that we are able to provide a tool such as this, which is able to give you very, very accurate, reliable, quick clinical notes, which was not really possible in the past. It was very hit and miss, very expensive as well. And so we try to nail that, and I think we've broken through that barrier now. It's been a lot of work to get there. This software has been designed from the ground up by yours truly, with the goal of really helping to make your day a little better. We run in a pretty high stress, very demanding environment as dentists, and typically the software we use looks crap, if I'm to be honest. Works crap. Needs a manual. You need to use drop-down menus and have someone come in who's less qualified than you for like 2 hours to tell you how to use the bloody thing, right? This is designed for you to open it up, click listen, talk to it, whether you're in the US and you want to use that, the universal numbering system, or you want to use the FDI numbering system. And it'll take your notes and give them back to you in a very, very structured, professional form every single time. You can swear at the thing, you can talk casually, in and out of order. You can talk to it in a few different languages if you want as well, and it will go through and do that. And it's been a lot of work to get it to a point where it does that really reliably. And this workflow that I'm about to show you, which I think is pretty groundbreaking in terms of being able to incorporate the mobile, use the microphone in this thing, and have things ready to go, so that we are saving time, not adding time. One of the things I hate is when we sort of add technology, and instead of saving the time, it adds time, which I'm sure you will experience sometimes. That happens. I want this to be very different to that. So every single decision in developing this has been aimed at ensuring that that's the case. So I'm going to show you how we use this. So generally, you come in the morning, you're in your surgery, you've got your practice management software, you'll open up, your browser will be open or whatnot, and you'll be running maybe your YouTube little Cafe Del Mar playlist for your patients through it or whatnot. You'll open up a new tab, and I want you to imagine my MacBook is your practice management desktop, and log in, which I should have done before just to speed this up, but it's cool, you get to see it now start up. So this will come through and start up. My little robo camera is like having a little break dance. Yo, yeah. So this is logged in now, yeah? So now let's say I've seen a patient or two and I want to do some notes. I could either log in on this if I want, or if I'm logged in before it'll open up, but that's time, right? So everyone's got a shortcut that opens up their camera right away on their phone, yeah? And on the app, there's a little button straight away in front of you that says Connect Desktop. Click it, QR code comes up. We all went through COVID. I think everyone knows what a QR code is now, unfortunately. And you basically just scan it, click the link. I need to unlock my phone, but you wouldn't need to unlock it usually. And this will now open, ready to go, logged in. No typing, no clicking, clacking, ready, and synchronized on my phone, yeah? So this is going to process notes on both of these and have them available. I can sign out on there, it'll sign out on here, and vice versa. I can sign out on this as well. Yeah, and so it's ready for you to record a note. So before I record a note, I will say that one of the things that we definitely don't do is store your voice recordings. We don't do that. Your voice is not recorded, your voice recording is not stored anywhere on our servers, and it is also not stored anywhere on our partners' servers. This is something that's very, very important as a part of our hyper compliance policy, and it's something that we worked very hard. It took over 6 months to get our BAA with the partners. It's not something easy to get. I think we're probably one of the first health companies, at least dental health companies in Australia, to have one of these agreements, where we can be certain that you use our app for this particular purpose and your voice is not going to be recorded anywhere. Your patient's details are fine. On top of that, on the back end of this, at a number of different points, we are removing any PHI that you may inadvertently enter. You might say the patient's name, credit card details, whatever it might be. This app will not store them and will strip them out. Because you've got your practice management software, which has all of that stuff anyway. There's no need for your clinical notes to have any sort of PHI. So this all sort of fits within our broader hyper policy. So it's not just reliability and efficiency, this thing is also about security. Which brings me on to a sort of broader point about this type of software. We've got this thing called GPT wrappers these days, which is basically AI software like GPT wrapped up in a pretty package and then just sold to you at a premium. This is not that. There's a lot going on the back end of this in order to make it hyper compliant, in order to make it work the way that it works every single time. One way I like to explain this to people is with the example of Microsoft Office. I'm pretty sure most people in their practices have Microsoft Office as well as their practice management software, but I don't know anyone who uses Microsoft Office to manage their practice, even though it's very, very capable of doing it. And the reason is that as professionals, we generally use tools that have been fine-tuned and designed from the ground up for our specific, our specialty, dentistry. It saves us time, we're able to open it up, and it works reliably every time. And iloveteeth is very much the same as that. So we have worked tirelessly all year to get this to the point where this workflow that I'm about to show you, where you've got this now running on your phone. You can use this microphone. If you want, you can use that microphone. Maybe you're running your practice on iPads and you don't need to synchronize them at all. It'll work in a number of different case scenarios. But it's been a lot of work to get this secure, to get this efficient and reliable, so that you can rely on this tool to do your clinical notes for you and to save time, which is the main sort of goal, and to reduce your stress level. So anyway, let's do a test recording and quick note. I'll do a simple sort of appointment for this example, and we'll see how it sort of works. Yeah, so I'm going to hit listen and talk about a typical sort of filling appointment. So, today we saw Mary for filling on tooth number 4. She's had sensitivity on the upper right for the last 2 weeks, just short, sharp. She's not taking any pain medications and it's not painful to bite on at all. We saw Mary about 2 years ago for her last examination and clean. Her medical history has not changed, nil relevant. On examination, tooth number 4, distal decay present, not tended to percussion, it's positive to CO2 with a short, sharp response. Same response on tooth number 5. Radiograph taken, a bite wing. Right hand side shows distal decay on number 4, non-pulpal. We showed Mary the x-ray and advised her we could restore the tooth composite today. We had a quick discussion about diet. She seems to be having a lot of tea through the day, which she sweetens with honey, and she's also not flossing. We had a brief talk about the implications of that, but I highly recommended we see her in about 2 weeks for her examination and clean. We will go into more detail on that, and she's quite keen to follow up on it. We removed the decay on the distal of number 4 to affected, no exposure. Restored the tooth with Filtech Supreme A to B. Occlusion checked and adjusted. Excellent final contact. Oh, we gave half a carpule of 2% lignocaine with adrenaline as a buccal infiltration. We advised Mary post-op to expect the sensitivity to take 2 to 4 weeks to subside, and again encouraged her to come in 2 weeks' time. We'll see her in 2 weeks for her examination clean and OHI consult. Okay, done. So I just click listen again and it's done, and you will see that the processing indicator is up there. Now, as that's processing, I can go through and record another note if I want, and it'll be fine. Or I can wait if I really want to as well, and wait for the processing to finish. It typically takes between 10 to 20 seconds to do, and you'll see that processing indicator come up on screen as well. And we've got our note ready to go here. And so I'm able to basically, on the desktop, where the note is, as well as on here, click just the copy function, and that's copied to clipboard. And I want you to imagine that this is the practice management software here on my notebook. Yeah, it's just text edit on my computer here, but in your practice, it'll be in the clinical notes section, and you just paste that note in, and everything's there. So, treatment today, the right tooth number, chief complaint, medical history, everything we mentioned about the consult, what we showed at the radiographs, the diagnosis, the post-op instructions we gave. Notice how we talked about the LA a little bit out of order. I sort of forgot to mention it. It's in the right spot in the note. So that whole process, if I wasn't here talking and presenting it in a video, and that truck wasn't in the front, would be 30 to 40 seconds. And this really does add up. It adds up in terms of time you save, it adds up in terms of stress as well. Generally in Sydney here, at least us new school dentists, and by new school I mean anyone who's graduated in the last like 35 years, we are raised to do very, very lengthy, very detailed clinical notes. So we basically have been raised to document everything that's said by the patient, to the patient, consulted on, prices, whatever. Everything goes in the clinical notes. And so you can find yourself in Australia clicking and clacking 1,500 characters to 2,000 characters per appointment, easy, which adds up. You've got to stand there in that one spot on the keyboard and do this. This untethers you from that. You can be anywhere you like and do that. And it's a slightly different way to work, but it's quicker. And again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, typically us dentists, we're a little stubborn to change, which is fine and it's normal. And it reminds me of how I was a few years ago when we switched to digitally scanning all of our impressions rather than taking previous impressions with a triple tray or stock trays or a custom tray or whatever you might be doing. And the first couple of appointments, you were like, yo, can someone please get me some PVS? I just want to take this impression and see the next patient, you know. But it clicks and you get it, and you start to see how much time is saved and how much more efficient, how much more eloquent the digital workflow can be. And generally a lot of people are now working digitally, and this tool will fit within that digital workflow. It's available for a free trial right now for all you good people for a full week. And so I really do encourage you, and I do hope you give it a try. And I'd love to hear what you feel about it, whether it's good or bad. Please note, and it'll tell you this when you sign up for the account before you create an account. The subscription, including the free trial, is done through Stripe. Yeah, which is, if you've got any subscriptions online, that's a very, very popular payment platform like PayPal. Very reputable company. They require a lot of details from us. We're a registered company. I'm a registered dentist in order to actually even work with them. We don't see your credit card details. And one of the big reasons we have included a requirement for credit card details on signing up for a free trial is that this thing is actually really expensive to run as it is. And we'd like to minimize spam accounts. Yeah, so having a credit card, just even for the free trial, filters that out somewhat and ensures that whoever's signing up is generally going to be a professional. But I'm here. You can contact me in a number of different ways. I'm available through a number of different avenues. And I'm here, as I said, my goal with this has always been and will always be to make sure it's helped you out and has made your day a little better. So I'm here to hear any feedback you may have, any experience you may have with it. And I really do hope you give it a try. I love this. So I encourage you to use it to support us and to tell us what you think. I hope you have a beautiful day wherever in the world you may be. And I hope to talk to you all and see you all soon. Take care. Bye.